Well, friends, it is a sad day. Eddie Van Halen is dead. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, click that subscribe button. Trust us, it'll be worth it. Thank you. What is up, everyone? I am Chris Knight, and you are watching the Real Review 3000 here with a retrospective on Eddie Van Halen's life. Guys, do me a favor, if you're new to this channel, if you've never been here, check out our other content. And if you have been here before but you've yet to subscribe, guys, please do me a favor, smash that subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the bell so you know when we're coming out with new stuff. Consider helping us out with a PayPal donation. Reach out to us on Twitter at chrisknight5150 or email us chrisknight@therealreview3000.com. We are on Patreon, Facebook, and Instagram. We have a Discord. We got a lot of other things. All that information and more is down in the description box below. Now, let's just get to this, guys. I had done quite a bit of stuff about Eddie Van Halen and his health last year. Kind of went away from it because none of it was really changing. It was just all up in the air. He was saying he was doing fine and all that. But I kind of sensed we were heading this way. A lot of pictures with his son. A lot of going out and doing things before the fluffy bunny disease hit. And the fluffy bunny disease really does affect a lot of people, especially when they're not in the greatest of health or when they're fighting things like cancer. A lot of the things about fighting cancer and other communicable diseases and things like that is being able to go out and enrich yourself and keep yourself motivated and keep yourself, I guess, enjoying things and enjoying life. Sometimes that helps immensely. And with everything shutting down, I'm not sure if that had anything to play into what happened, but Eddie Van Halen is dead today. I think, I want to look it up again. I think 65. Let's see here. Yeah, 65. I just had to check. But, you know, there's a lot of things you could say about Eddie Van Halen. He was an alcoholic, drug user, rock and roll, right? He was not the greatest bandmate from the things we know. But for everything that he probably had as a flaw, he had many things that made him great. Let's just talk about it this way. Let's see here. I think it's 12 albums. Van Halen 2, Women and Children First, Fair Warning, Diver Down, 1984, 5150, OU 812, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, Balance, Van Halen 3, A Different Kind of Truth. Then they had two live albums, Live Right Here, Right Now, Tokyo Dome Live in Concert. Then they had two greatest hits albums. That was Best of Volume 1 and then the Best of Both Worlds. They had 13 U.S. mainstream rock number ones. And truthfully be told, it was pretty much Eddie. Eddie was the impetus. He was the muse. He was the one that came up with the wonderful sounds you heard. He was once quoted, "If people like my music, they'll buy whatever I put out there." And as much of a devil-may-care person he may have been, he was an innovator. He pushed for synthesizers to be used heavily in rock music. He never was one to just stay put with what he was doing. I mean, really, if you think about it, there's Van Halen, and then there's Van Hagar, and Van Halen was very raw and earthy. But then when they went to Van Hagar, it became this light, airy, hard rock. It was much different. There was two different styles, so he kind of reinvented himself when Sammy Hagar allowed him to kind of break free of just the guitar and said, "Yeah, go ahead, use the synthesizer, do this." When he had somebody there saying, "Yes, show me what you can do." So in the early '80s, my uncle played the first song I ever heard was Eruption. you know, you know, I heard it on record, and I remember listening to it and going, man, what's this noise? But I didn't mean it in a bad way. I was like thinking in my head, I love this. What is this? Eddie Van Halen was probably my first exposure into what a guitarist was. I was a big Beatles fan. You know, there's, you know, George Harrison, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, all of them played guitar. George Harrison, of course, was the one real big innovator of those. And Eric Clapton played on there. So I'd been exposed to other ones, but the first one I really dove into was Eddie Van Halen. And I mean, since then, you know, Prince, you know, there's tons of them, guys. You know, Steve Vai, Satriani, Santana. I mean, there's tons of guitarists out there. So, you know, if I were to place Eddie Van Halen, I mean, I can't place anybody in like a top 10 or something. I mean, there's like, you know, 15 number ones, 15 number twos, whatever. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't even put him in number 1, 2, 3. I would just say, here's a group of great guitarists, and he's in that group. Been to multiple concerts with him, you know, and he kind of shaped my life in high school and middle school. I was listening to this stuff. I have all of his stuff on record. It was just amazing. And I'm a big David Lee Roth fan, but I think David Lee Roth fed off of what Eddie did and how he played and stuff. And then I think Sammy Hagar did the same thing. They played off of each other really well. And when the breakup happened for both of them, it was just devastating. I don't know if he really cared. He tried, I think, at times maybe to figure out a way to make it work, and it just didn't. Of course, then Sammy and Dave never really got along either. Gary Cherone, I'm not a person who hates Van Halen 3. I think Van Halen 3 was different. And again, kind of reinvented himself again. And then you come back to a different kind of truth. It was right back to what they started as back in the days of Mammoth, out in Pasadena and in the Valley and stuff. And I did a video, and I'll put it in the tags or on the cards, about losing our heroes or losing people as we grow older. You know, I remember my parents talking about, you know, this person dying, that person dying, Frank Sinatra, you know, those, you know, Sammy Davis Jr., the Rat Pack, you know, Mel Torme. I mean, just, you know, those singers that were from their time. While I loved those singers and I loved the Rat Pack and all of that, you know, they weren't my people. These were people that my parents impressed upon me, and I grew and liked them. I was like, yay, I like these guys. But Van Halen, it was like me. That was me. That was my guy, my group, that type of thing. Bon Jovi, you know, those were the things that molded me and made me who I am. And when these people start to die, you know, David Bowie, Freddie Mercury back in the day, you know, Rick Ocasek, all these guys, when they die, it's like, wow, think back, man, I remember the first time I heard, you know, Space Oddity, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. Or, you know, Drive, even though Rick Ocasek didn't sing Drive. But, you know, the Cars, and, you know, remembering Queen and stuff like that. And it's the same thing with Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen was a treat to the ears, was a maestro of magic as far as mainstream rock went. Are there better guitarists? Yes, I guarantee you Prince is a better guitarist, or was a better guitarist, than Eddie Van Halen. But you never really got to hear that. Prince was very pop, very straightforward when it came to guitar. Occasionally you'd hear him break out and stuff. But Eddie, every song, you knew you were going to hear that magical solo. I mean, and to think about a man who wrote or did just an impromptu solo for Michael Jackson's Beat It, a song that kept many of his songs, many of his albums out of the number one position. Not many of his albums, but several of his songs were kept out of the number one position because Michael Jackson had everything. And Thriller kept 84 out of the number one position. Lots of people say, well, they never had a number one with David Lee Roth. Well, that's not their fault. It wasn't like they couldn't have done it. It was just Michael Jackson, people. I mean, think about it. you can't fight Michael Jackson, especially back in the 80s. And so this man gave you so much. And again, I don't care what a person or who a person is out in public or in their personal life. I don't hold them to that because I don't know them like that. I don't know a politician like that. I don't know an actor like that. I hold you to what you do and what your craft is. If you're a guitarist, I hold you to your music. If you're an actor, I hold you to what you put on the screen. If you're a politician, I hold you to your policies. I hold you to what you do. Eddie Van Halen was something that you probably get once in a generation, because they say that not because he's the best guitarist ever, but because as far as recorded music and mainstream played on radio music, he was it. You didn't get that from anybody else. That was Eddie Van Halen's job. You knew when they released a song, there was going to be some kick-ass solo on there. And it wouldn't have been disguised or mistaken for anybody but Eddie Van Halen. EVH. I mean, people know that. You know, the Frankenstein guitar. You know, his Wolfgang guitar. He named his son Wolfgang after Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. All of this stuff. And it's just amazing to me that this great talent is dead. And only at 65 people. I'm 43. I mean, he wasn't even... 22 years older than me. I mean, that's not that much. This man had so much more life. And I don't know if Van Halen would have gotten back together. I don't know if David would have come back for another album. I don't know. And it's never going to happen now because the man who defined it, Eddie Van Halen, is gone. You are never going to get another Van Halen record or album, if you want to call it that. You're never going to be able to see Van Halen live again. It's not like you can just plug another guitarist in there and say, okay, yeah, it's Van Halen. No, it's not. Alex is on drums, but it's not like that's why people went to go see Van Halen. I mean, I'm a big David Lee Roth fan. I said it. I'm not a bad Sammy Hagar fan. I just like Sammy Hagar as a solo artist more, but I love both of them. But that's not why you go see it. You wanted to see what Eddie was going to do. The jumps, the florals, the crazy solos, the 15 minutes sometimes he'd stay up there and do one solo. You know, you're never going to get that again. Never. And when I say that, again, he's not the greatest guitarist ever, but he had that sound, and you knew his sound. You're never going to hear that sound again. You're going to have to listen to it from something that's been recorded. It's a very hard thing to know that you're not going to when you've relied on it to be there during hard times, or when it's been the muse to a song you wrote, or to hit you in a spot that made you feel a feeling. And again, I didn't know Eddie. Of all the people I have met, I never met Eddie Van Halen. I regret not meeting Eddie Van Halen. But Eddie Van Halen is a part of this right here for me. My heart, my soul. He's there. He'll always be there. If you guys don't know who Eddie Van Halen is, or if you don't know much about him, go look it up. The studio I'm working on right now, I named after the studio he built, which was 5150. The penal code in California for being crazy. Maybe Eddie was crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. But so many things in my life are because of Van Halen. And hopefully you guys can share down in the comments your memories, your experiences, the things Van Halen meant to you. But with that said, guys, again, do me a favor, smash the like button, hit the bell, subscribe, help us out with the PayPal donation. We greatly appreciate it. Reach out to us on Twitter at chrisknight5150. Email us, chrisknight@therealreview3000.com. Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, all of that stuff, all down in the description box below. Guys, I'm urging you, if you don't know who Eddie Van Halen is, go check it out. He was a father, and his son loved him to death. And it's always sad when a kid like Wolfgang loses a parent like Eddie. Hopefully you guys have fond memories of him. With that said, guys, I am Chris Knight. This is the Real Review 3000. Thank you for watching. I'm out here.
Hey guys, thanks for checking us out. Be sure to subscribe to both channels, and make sure to check out our friends in the Fandom Minutes. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and BitChute, and you can also send us an email at sean@seanstackousereacts.com and chrisknight@therealreview3000.com. And be sure to swing by our Teespring store to pick up some awesome merchandise.